right, so Micron Technology shares dropped following the company's earnings release, and unsurprisingly, a lot of new investors are now sniffing around trying to see if this is a stock they might want to add on the dip. Of course, I made a video following the stock price decrease highlighting that I did believe this was a buying opportunity, but I've had Micron Technology stock as a buy all year long. I had it rated as a buy even before the earnings release sent the stock price down. So far, Micron has disappointed me this year, even though I've had it rated highly, even though I'm still bullish on the company's long-term prospects. So in this video, I'm going to cover the latest developments, the things that investors need to know about Micron Technology at the very least before making a decision about this stock. So let's jump in.
I want to thank the Motley Fool for sponsoring this video. Visit fool.com/Parkev for the 10 best stocks to buy now.
So Micron telling investors that they are preparing to ramp their 1-gamma technology node using EUV in calendar 2025. And if you're not already aware, EUV is the most advanced semiconductor manufacturing technology delivered from ASML, which has the most advanced technology. Relatively few companies, I can think of less than 10 companies that are utilizing ASML's latest generation EUV technology. These are very expensive machines that cost upwards of $200 million each. And so you can understand why this is a key thing for Micron and how it can deliver differentiation for the company, because very few companies are utilizing these machines. So if you're one of those companies, Micron, Intel, Taiwan Semiconductor, Samsung are a few off the top of my mind that I can think of that are utilizing EUV technology, and not very many more. Micron saying that they expect fiscal year 2025 DRAM cost reductions, excluding the high bandwidth memory, to be in the mid to high single-digit percentage range. And for storage NAND, the front-end cost reductions to be in the low teens percentage range. That's huge. That means their manufacturing costs are falling by that much. So even if their revenue stays flat, because the costs are falling, the profit margins will expand and overall profits will expand. Micron has done an excellent job over the years in achieving these kinds of cost reductions. And that's what you like to see from a company. That's what you like to see from anyone. And I give this example at university when I teach my students, because sometimes I'll be teaching freshmen, first-year college students, and sometimes I'll be teaching graduate-level college students in their 5th and 6th year. And the example I give to them is that you should be a better student now in your 3rd, 4th, and 5th year of college compared to when you were first in college, your first year in college. And if you're not a better student, something's wrong, right? You did something wrong during that time. You failed to improve, which is hard to fail to improve when that's what you're doing for 4 years, 5 years. And as a company, you want to see similar progress. A company 5 years in, 10 years in, 20 years in to their business, you need to see them improve. You need to see better performance. And if you're not seeing better performance, there's something wrong. They're not learning. There's, even if you're not trying to learn, just by experience, you're learning. Just by doing the same thing every day for the last 5 years, you're getting better at doing that thing. Even if you're not even trying to get better, even if it's not even on your mind, you are automatically getting better by experience. So if a company is not getting better, then there's something significantly wrong with their processes, something significantly wrong with their operations if you're not seeing improvement. And for the companies that are really good, those companies are mindful of their operations. They're mindful of their performance, because learning is one of the ways you operate. Learning is one of the ways you offer differentiation to your customers, right? Hopefully, those of you that have been watching my channel since I first started in September of 2022, and you're watching my videos from today compared to when you're watching my videos from September of 2022, you will notice significant improvement between then and now. And that's not by accident, right? I'm mindful of making improvements. And if you're not seeing that from the company you're investing in, question marks should be rising. And for companies like Micron that demonstrate good improvement like this, double digit cost reductions are huge. And if they're demonstrating that kind of improvement, you can go ahead and give management credit for that. And a good management team that demonstrates this kind of product progress is desirable when you're considering investments. Also, what investors need to know about Micron is that they are getting support to add to their manufacturing capabilities, both in terms of their manufacturing quantity available and in terms of manufacturing quality available. The US Department of Commerce has awarded Micron up to $6.1 billion under the CHIPS and Science Act, which has awarded billions of dollars to companies like Micron, Intel, Taiwan Semiconductor, Samsung to build and expand manufacturing facilities in the United States. Micron specifically is building new manufacturing facilities in Idaho and New York that will be coming online over the next several years. This isn't something that's going to come online in 2025. This is something that they're starting and they expect to have online over the next couple of years, which is going to expand both their manufacturing capacity and the manufacturing quality, the latest generation technology, which is going to be important because the HBM memory segment that Micron is now growing into, it's the fastest growing segment in the company's business. Management highlighted that it's going to grow from $16 billion in annual revenue for the industry up to over 4x that, or close to $100 billion in annual revenue by 2030. So Micron wants to be ready to serve that market. They want to be the market leader in that segment. They want to retain leadership in that segment. And so the timing works really well for Micron here, utilizing the government subsidies. At the same time, the market is anticipating huge growth. And so they're able to build these manufacturing assets at discounted cost because of government subsidies. Still, even though they're getting government subsidies and the market is growing rapidly for Micron's products, investors are still skeptical about these huge increases in manufacturing supply for Micron. And investors are a little bit scared because of what happened to them with Intel. If you were an investor of Intel, you'll understand that Intel's huge investments in manufacturing, both expansion and quality, have really hurt the business. It put the business in a cash crunch. They had to pause their dividend. The CEO was forced out. And so investors are now like extra cautious about companies that are making these kinds of capital expenditures. So these are all things that I think investors of Micron, or those that are just now coming around and looking at Micron because of the really cheap valuation, right? It's trading at a forward price to earnings of 7, right? This is similar to valuations for a company like Verizon and AT&T, companies with zero growth prospects, right? But Micron has excellent growth prospects, but it's trading at a very depressed valuation. So understandably, a lot of investors are interested. This is a good start to get to know the company. I have dozens and dozens of videos on Micron stock. Please watch as many as you feel comfortable watching before you make a decision on Micron stock. Hey everyone, so many of you have been asking about my investing strategy, and I'm excited to announce that I've written a book that's available for sale now that describes my 6-step investing framework for evaluating stocks. I've added the link in the description below.